Hi, everybody. This is Jackey Hall here with Indie Cafe, and I am your special guest today, and along with Jonathan A Moody.
Hey,
How you doing?
good. I'm happy. You're the first guest host we've had.
Yay! And then we have another special guest who's never, ever, ever been on, a very dear friend of mine, Jeffrey Waller. How are you, Jeffrey?
Oh, I'm good. I don't know if I'm all that special, but I'm good.
You are special, if you know what I mean.
I'm-
Okay, let's go on with the show.
All right. So we're gonna be talking about what movie are we? What movie did you pick for us?
I picked one of my all-time favorite directors, not favorite because he's good at directing, but favorite because he's a near and dear friend of mine who actually sucks at directing. But he knows I love him. So we picked the magical Shark Exorcism
All right, the magical shark exorcist.
by Mr. Donald Farmer. The one and
Yes.
only, one and only.
The one, yeah, definitely the one and only. You can't make a Donald Farmer movie much like, like a Donald Farmer himself. Anyway, I guess we'll get right back to it after some mood music.
All right, everybody, we are back.
Woo!
Today we are going to talk about this movie.
This movie that it took you a long time before you actually sat down and watched it.
You know, I normally do a little bit of procrastination, but this was beyond that. I waited until the last hour before the show to watch it so I could, really have a good memory of this movie because after watching it right away, my brain was like, I want to forget this as quickly as possible.
I had to start watching a better movie right before I came on here to kind of cleanse my brain.
I was surprised, Jeffrey. For some reason, I thought you would have loved it. Didn't you help her pick this movie? Like, I thought this was up your alley.
I am taking no blame whatsoever.
He
No
didn't.
responsibility.
He had other options, but all with people that I know that would not be okay with talking about how bad their movies are. So,
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. We work in the indie world, and in the indie world, sometimes the movies don't come out like people planned, them to come out, maybe in their heads. Now, except for Donald Farmer, I think he always sort of knows what he wants and how he wants to get there. I don't think
he has a shitty movie strategy.
Right. And we'll probably get into more of that. But what I'm saying is, like, we do a lot of movies where we know a lot of the actors that are involved, and to talk sort of poorly about the movie sometimes would maybe reflect them, like, where they would not be happy with the way that we're saying this. So Jackie was like very careful on what she wanted to pick because she knew Donald knows her, and understands.
Donald loved a good roast.
Yes, exactly. So tell us, do you know any background on this movie at all?
Yes, most of it was shot in Tennessee, where Donald lives, and the shark footage was actually shot at the Tennessee Aquarium, where he did not ask permission for footage. So he paid for his aquarium ticket and went through and shot this movie like, I guess he was just someone there videoing or taking pictures of things. So right on, Donald. He did ask me to be one of the lead girls in this movie before, obviously, he made it. And I
remember that day. I remember because you texted me. You were like, Donald just asked me to be in his Shark Exorcist movie. And I said no.
Yeah. It was not only a no, it was like a hell no.
It's like hell no.
Hard hell no.
Had you moved to Los Angeles by then?
Oh boy. You know what? I don't think I was in LA.
Yeah. So you would have had either he would have had to fly you out to Tennessee, or you would have had to fly yourself out there.
Either that or he would have asked me to shoot my own footage on my phone.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this back in the day myself. Now that you
Yeah, but
mentioned
how would
it,
you be the lead like that? Because the lead girl was there interacting with people. I don't know. Oh no, I don't even want it. Nope, I don't, because it's giving me Dorm of the Dead like feelings,
Hey, we're not supposed to mention that.
it's a classic though.
If anything needs an exorcism, it's that fucking movie.
It's one of the funniest comedies ever made, but except it wasn't meant to be a comedy in the first place. But
You know, I just have to take Donald's work with a grain of salt and just be like, he's really good at comedy.
He's so good at comedy, he didn't even know it himself.
He is just
So yeah, so shot in Tennessee. Did you know had you been to those locations before?
not that I recognize.
Like you didn't see you've been to his like area, right? Like his.
Yeah, I've been to his house.
Okay, so the park that they have in the movie that is supposed to be by the lake, which I think is a river.
It is. I think it is a river. I don't know. It could be a lake too.
If it is a river, I wonder why he wouldn't have said that. So maybe it is a lake. I don't know, because like, why would you say the lake and it really not be a lake?
Donald's location scouting is kind of like the day of, and it's like, okay, we need to shoot this scene today. Oh, look, there's a playground and nobody's there. Okay, you guys get your lines straight. We got to get in here and get out before people start showing up.
That sounds about right. Especially when I saw this movie, I was like, there's obviously people in the background that don't know they're being filmed. Like I was like, this is obviously, let's get in, shoot our scenes, get out before the cops come over and ask us questions.
Oh, Donald, you tricky, tricky person, you.
Not a bad thing though. I mean, that's guerrilla filmmaking.
Yep. So he doesn't have to pay for any locations. Save that moolah.
What, he doesn't have to pay for anything, pretty much.
Doesn't look like a penny went into anything except for maybe gas to get to these locations.
you could probably make a really good movie inside a Walmart or something. I'm thinking.
Oh.
You wouldn't even have to find people to be in the movie. You just use the people that are there.
Late night Walmart run.
Yeah, I don't know. Walmart might be a sketchy thing because it's a brand name thing. If you caught any kind of Walmart signs, you would get in trouble.
Yeah.
But aside from that, yeah, I get what you're saying, Jeffrey.
The title would be like Walmart, or no, because they couldn't use that name. So it would be like Superstore.
Yeah, I don't even think you can use that. I think that's still trademark. So I think you would say Supermart or something.
Supermart.
Yeah.
Supermart cannibal vampire hookers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So you just gave him an idea for his next title.
He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it.
Yeah.
And it's all these people walking around that look like they're on crack, that are showing their crack, that have on house slippers and the nastiest looking bed pants you've ever seen. And they all turn into these things and they start fighting with each other. And it's a battle against to see who's gonna win between the vampires, the hookers, and the cannibals.
So another Friday night in Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, Donald's Tennessee. Okay, that doesn't go on everywhere in Tennessee now.
No. So this was your first time watching it. Jeffrey, was this your first time watching it?
I watched it days ago and I kind of scanned through it quick today. It didn't take long to scan through it the second time. But
I didn't even do that. Like I watched this because we were supposed to do this a couple like last week and stuff, and Jackey unfortunately had got called into work, of course, so she couldn't do it. But we we're very happy to be doing it now. However, when I watched it back then, and I was like, I'm not rewatching this. I'm not. I can't force myself to sit through it again. It was rough. I don't think I could scan through it.
Well, if you scan through it and skip all the scenes that have nothing to do with the plot, it doesn't take long to get through it.
That's true. All right. So first of all, Jackey,
What?
can you describe the plot for us?
Okay. There kind of sort of is a plot. There is this monster in the lake that turns out to be a shark, and the shark is actually possessed. And I wasn't really sure how the shark got possessed. I mean, I know that like nun looking thing is in the beginning. She does some kind of
nun looking thing.
I don't know what it was.
She was like an evil nun, right? Or something. She was like a satanic nun, which made no sense to me.
I know.
Like,
so there's this random satanic nun, and she does some kind of spell, and somehow that goes into some shark somewhere in the world, which happens to be Tennessee, which I don't think they ever disclose that information. And it is possessed. So it's like the exorcism made as bad as you could make it with a shark.
all right. So the shark gets possessed. Then what?
Then the shark, since the girl gets bitten, she gets possessed, right?
Yeah, when she gets bitten, there's no. She says there's a good chunk of her leg missing, but you look at it, it's just like a couple things of blood on her leg.
It looks like not even a baby scratch.
It was pretty small. I don't know if he just didn't have any like special effects people around, and he's just like, just pour fake blood on the leg. Well, it'll be fine.
He normally uses ketchup. I think he could have got more blood with that.
He normally uses ketchup for real?
I believe he has in the past.
Hey, whatever way you can get blood.
There are certain things I have blacked out, okay? But I'm pretty certain about this one.
Okay. So he used, there's a little scratch, and I guess she becomes possessed because she likes water. She wants to bathe all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, because the girl says, "What is up with you? All you ever want to do is be in your bathtub."
Right. Like, have you ever, you're a girl, have you ever gotten into a fight with your girlfriends about them wanting to be in the tub all the time?
No, never heard that my entire life.
I don't think anybody would ever be mad at somebody for wanting to rest when they are, healing from a wound,
Actually a major shark bite that took out a chunk of her leg, which was none of her leg.
Which she also said, like, that wound, I guess, disappeared because they didn't have money to make it still there. So they're like, we'll just say it disappeared. She healed quickly.
I think it would have been more funny had they tried to put the wound back on her again. It looked different every time because they couldn't get it right. I think that would have added some extra comedy into it, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Donald about these things.
Shark Exorcist 3.
I think it will be interesting to hear no, Jonathan, no.
They've already made a part 2, so they were working on it. I don't know.
None of them was enough, and this one was made.
I had a feeling they were setting this up for a sequel to tie up all the loose ends from this version.
I don't think the sequel's gonna have anything to do with the first one.
I hope not.
It'll just be a whole different shark that gets possessed. I bet that's gonna be my guess.
And the shark is living in a lake or river, which, I mean, it's a rare circumstance where a shark came from an ocean that runs into like a lake.
I think river. Wait, which one's salt?
That's the sea, the ocean.
So can it actually go into a lake and survive?
No, not really. So here's the thing, is that there has been some sharks found in fresh water, but those bodies of water, the fresh water is connected to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to kind of go in and out, and I guess they kind of adapt to fresh salt water. So yeah, they have found like bull sharks in lakes before, but this was not the case.
Yeah, this is like I think like great white looking shark. Like this would not be happening. No.
Right.
But then again, I mean, it's called Shark Exorcist, so
I'm interested to get Jeffrey's plot definition here.
So do you want to continue it, Jeffrey?
The plot definition?
Yeah, like keep going with the plot that we've already started.
Let's see. We just got into the part where the shark is the nun who looks like my future ex-wife. She doesn't last very long. She doesn't come back till almost the end of the movie. And it makes no sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh yeah. We're getting to the part now. The redhead from Ghost Whackers shows up.
Oh yeah. Ronnie Jonah.
Oh, that is her.
Yeah, that's Ronnie Jonah. I was watching Red Letter Media and they pointed out that she actually looks at the wrong camera. She looks at the regular camera instead of looking at the camera that's pointing at her when she's trying to talk. It's a big mistake. It was a big mess up.
Is she trying to pretend like she's possessed? Maybe that's part of that whole deal. I don't know, but
she did act possessed, but this was before she was possessed. She was chatting she was looking at the camera. Then she turns and looks at the regular camera that we're all looking at, and she acts like that's the camera that she's supposed to be talking to. It's really, if you re-look at it, you're like, oh crap, you're right.
Well, she was pushing it so hard. Just the dialogue and everything. I don't think I even would have noticed that part of it.
I didn't either. For some reason, I don't think I was paying that close attention to the movie, period.
She was so committed to selling that part.
Yeah, that's true. So so she was there for Ghost Whackers, and then there was, what is it, Ghost something else?
Ghost Fakers.
Ghost
Before
Fakers.
long, that young lady shows up
and tries to, which is silly, but
to debunk the Ghost Breaker show, and it's like, how does this have anything to do with the movie? I don't know.
I think the connection is the fact that they're trying to show that the ocean is possessed, or whatever, the lake is possessed with a shark or whatever,
The possessed shark.
I can't really believe you asked me which one was the salty one, Jonathan.
I don't know. I don't go to lakes or rivers.
You finished high school.
I did a long time ago.
So just remember this. LA had the ocean. That's salt water.
Yeah.
Where
I know that.
Well, you have Virginia Beach, right?
Which is also an ocean.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
We don't really have that many lakes around.
Okay.
I live right by a lake.
No, I live by a lake, but yeah, whatever. Anyway.
I'd love to have a shark in the lake here.
Would you?
I would encourage people to go swimming around here for sure.
Oh boy.
Here's
another movie made. Jeffrey loses his mind.
All right. So, Jeffrey, so also we talked about the girl who got bit and everything, and now she's kind of possessed by the shark.
Yeah, now she's possessed by the shark. I love how we know for sure the shark is possessed. They just give him those big yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a normal shark, folks.
And we know she's possessed because she has those shark teeth in her mouth.
Yeah, later on, it's almost like the entire plot kind of swings, and all of a sudden, instead of luring people into the water, now she's got shark teeth. She can take care of people her own self if she wants to.
The shark teeth that you can't tell that they're not real at all. Those, because her entire mouth was puffed out from the fake teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I still think that's how she got the part, though. Donald discovered this woman with these crazy teeth and said, "Oh, you got to be in my movie."
I found out she was in a movie, a short film before then called like Thong Girl versus something else.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a Thong Girl for some kind of alien thing.
Thong girl versus boy short girl.
Can one of you guys please explain the scene with her and the like child?
The autistic kid.
Was that a real like autistic girl, do you think? Or do you think that was like a girl pretending to be autistic?
If it's someone pretending, she actually was the only decent actor in the whole movie.
Because I don't know. And I felt really awkward because I was watching it going, oh God, who asked this poor girl to be in the movie? Donald.
Do I make fun of this or not?
I thought that scene was going to go beyond a certain line for a while there. It was going to be really disgusting, but then in the end, it didn't really mean much to the rest of the movie either.
Nope. Nope. I mean, she just went into the pool and then I guess bit her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, in the pool.
Yeah.
We never find out afterwards if that girl was possessed by the shark then or not. She just kind of disappeared.
And everybody just wears bathing suits under everything that they have, even if they're just walking around.
Yeah. And then you get attacked by a shark, even in the shallow water. Shallow water that your ankles are barely under.
Yeah, and where you could see where a shark is, but
they didn't even have a fake fin for this movie. You never even saw a fin come out of the water. And what I noticed, I don't know if you did or not, but the scenes of the attacks from the shark, it looked like the people were actually drowning instead of being bitten and attacked by a shark.
Yeah.
They would just like bob up and down in the water a little bit.
Right. Well, they do that in a lot of indie shark movies, like because they have to figure out a way to make it look like the shark is attacking them, but there's no.
It would be like going underneath the water and then like frolicking with your hands on top for like a couple of seconds before it drags you away.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be bobbing up and down.
Yeah.
Haven't you been attacked by a shark before? You should know.
Not me. Have you, Jeffrey?
Have I ever been bitten by? No.
Or attacked by a shark?
No. But she makes a good point about the lack of a shark fin in the water.
Yeah.
That hadn't occurred to me until even the snow shark in that movie that was just a fin.
It was just the fin, pretty much. Most of that movie. By the way, it's really funny that we're doing the Shark Exorcist and we have a girl who's been in a shark movie before in this,
Oh boy.
Snow shark. I didn't even thank you, Jeffrey, for bringing that up.
The girl is Jeffrey.
You can even find that on Blu-ray now on eBay.
Oh, yep. It stars Jeffrey Waller. If anybody would like to pick that
up. Jeffrey Waller is the mayor. Not the mayor? Who was your husband in that? Was the sheriff or something, right?
I don't remember.
I know he dressed up like Santa Claus. That's all I remember.
It was so many years ago.
But yeah, so Donald wanted to do a shark movie, didn't have a fin, didn't have a shark really, and most of the time it's not even the shark that's part of it. It's really the people get possessed and start going on the killing spree, Yeah. So it's mostly people, which is kind of, like that's just kind of a cop out, thing. I mean, it would be cooler if the shark was possessed the whole time and eating people, but
it would have been funny if they had one of those little toy sharks that they showed coming up behind them before they were attacked. Like the little ones that girl that we were not sure if she was acting or not was playing with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then she was like, she took it and she said, "Oh, I'm going to eat you." And
yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
Oh God.
I feel like this was not written. This was not scripted. This was just Go have fun. And, you know, and I felt so weird watching it. I felt there were very creepy scenes in the movie. There was a scene where, and I told you about this, Jackie, before you watched it. And so now you've seen it. The scene with the random photographer that comes in and starts just taking pictures on his, pictures of some random chick on the laying down on at the park or whatever.
Yeah, she's sunbathing and she's asleep.
Yep.
And how is he not getting caught? I mean,
Well, not even that. Like that was the whole point, was like he was doing it silently enough where she wasn't noticing it. And I get what Donald is trying to say, like that there are creepy people like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like it's a kind of a cautionary tale, but there was no point to it.
No, well, it did lead into her getting whacked by my future ex-wife nun lady.
That's true.
Right? But they could have, that, like you say, they didn't need that whole thing with the photographer at all. It was just
padding.
Donald had this idea. It's like, oh, I'd like to throw a scene like this into this movie, even though it doesn't fit. And I need a movie that lasts more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was the movie was 60 minutes long, and then like 10 minutes of like credits and stuff. And
they had to tack that little short film looking thing in after they rolled the credits for the cast and everything. And
they had this scene with the other little girl who looked underage walking around the Tennessee Aquarium or whatever and playing around with stuff, and that felt weirder than anything else.
Yeah.
I didn't like watching it because I just felt weird, watching it.
Maybe he put that in there since he didn't have permission to be shooting there. Like, okay, let's do something that makes it look like we're kind of promoting the aquarium.
I don't think the aquarium probably likes that this movie was shot here.
Probably not.
I don't know if they know. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm just saying I don't know if they know.
I don't think it's something they would advertise to their guests. And if you can't make it to the aquarium to come see our shark, check out Donald Farmer's Shark Exorcism.
I would love that. I would love a promo done in your voice, Jackie.
Okay.
I'm sure Donald would love it too. He would send it to the Tennessee Aquarium and say, "Hey, we could use this, for you guys." I'd be like, no.
The state of Tennessee will put it out as a promotional thing, maybe. Who knows?
It'll go like this. It'll be like, "Hi everyone, guess what? Today is your day. You're a winner. Yes, you are. You're a winner. What we have today is, if you cannot make it to our amazing aquarium here at Tennessee, what you can do is you can hop on Tubi and you can watch this movie called Shark Exorcism, where our one and only shark that we have becomes possessed."
One shark? Is that all they really have? Was one shark?
I think so.
So it seemed. I mean, that's all we used. All they used.
It's not like Tennessee is not known for its aquarium, especially since it's right next door to Atlanta. Atlanta has one of the world's largest.
Right.
The Tennessee Aquarium. Sorry, guys. I know you're never going to hear this, but it's pretty shitty.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walked on those spots that, Shark Exorcist was shot at.
Oh, wow. I mean, whoa.
Party.
I feel.
You feel special now, like, or they could say they've walked where you walked because you walked there first before the movie got made.
About where I walk.
No, you gotta oversell yourself.
Oh, everyone's gonna be like, we gotta go walk there because we can't find out anything about Jackey Hall. She's just so famous.
Maybe they have a special marker put up somewhere. Jackey Hall walked on this.
They have one
sidewalk.
that says Jeffrey Waller was here with a picture of a guy bending over with his butt crack showing, and it says, "Call this number."
Call us number if you want to have a good time.
Call for good time.
So
If you're not careful, the video is going to go on in a second, and your show is going to get kicked off the air.
we don't want to see that. We're okay, Jeffrey. We're fine.
I'll get kicked off the web too, so that wouldn't pay, I guess.
Yeah, let's not do that, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey would break the web.
Yeah, we don't want you to break the web.
All systems would just lock up in the web if that happened, and they'd like, oh,
a big thing would pop up on your screen. It would just say "Internet canceled." That would be it.
Internet's done.
It's the COVID of the internet.
Jeffrey started a new pandemic. One where we can't use Zoom.
No one can use the internet now.
Oh God. Could you imagine? Oh, the whole world shuts down. What are those people with their phones gonna do?
I don't know.
Including me.
Yeah, you would freak out.
Mm-hmm. I freak out every time the internet doesn't work. You know that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going back to this movie because sometimes we do talk about other stuff, but we're gonna go back to Shark Exorcist.
Mainly whenever I'm on the show.
Well, mainly when we pick movies that you don't want to talk about the movie. Like Busted, where you and Sam were just chit-chatting about other stuff that had nothing to do with the movie. And I was like,
yeah, I know.
Can we go back?
I'm like, and back to the movie.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of certain scenes. So there was a carnival scene, and that's where we see her teeth for the first time, her shark teeth, because I guess she got angry that her boyfriend was dating the other girl, her friend or whatever. And we forgot the guy that apparently was a big part of it, but I totally missed out on it, which was the pastor guy, like the priest. The priest. I need to talk about him because he's like in it for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, but apparently he's like the main person or something. Like he's, like a main guy in it.
He somehow knows the background of everything that's going on there.
He knows like the history of it, right?
We need him to show up so people can figure out what the heck is going on. Yeah.
And he still doesn't do a good job at that because I still had no idea what was going on.
I think Donald brought him in last minute and was like, you know what? I shot all this random stuff and I don't know how to put it together. We'll add a priest in there that will explain it all.
Yeah, because the priest is so useless. This is the most useless priest character because they tie the girl up into a well, no, I'm sorry. They don't tie her up. They put her up. She looks like she's tied, and then she just like gets free, like as if she was never tied, And then she bites the priest or whatever, turns him into the shark. She's free from the shark, but he comes after them, now that he's, possessed. I'm like, what? Like, I thought he was the one who was supposed to like save the day.
So
right, but he's also like a priest, like a God-fearing man, and Donald lets him become possessed. And we're just all fucking doomed.
I laughed so hard during that shark exorcism scene. It was unintentionally hilarious once again.
Well,
the big shark coming out of the sky and
what was up with that? I didn't get any of that.
It was like their special effects budget for the whole movie right there. You see the shark coming out of the sky.
Now, if that were like the whole movie was a shark coming out of the sky, that would have been cool. I mean, it would have cost a lot more money, but would have been cool if there was a shark coming out of the sky and just eating people.
Yeah, flying shark.
It makes even less sense for the shark to be coming out of the sky than
it makes it wouldn't matter because at this point there makes no sense in this movie anyway. This movie like confused the hell out of me.
Yeah, what was that shark? Was it Sharkenstein that I liked?
Yeah, you like Sharkenstein, which we did in season 3, I think. So 3 years later.
It's a really bad movie, but it is a shark movie, and I actually enjoyed watching it because it was.
You gave it a lower score,
Yeah.
than we were expecting, but that's because you enjoyed it.
It made me laugh.
Yeah, it was more fun, right? Would you say?
Yeah, this movie that we just watched made me like want a Xanax or something.
Interestingly enough, so in season 2, we did Raiders of the Lost Shark, which you haven't seen, done by Brett Kelly. Season 3, we did Sharkenstein. Now season 6, we're doing Shark Exorcist. All 3 movies are done by or put out by Wild Eye and are actually in a package together if you want to buy them. You'd probably only want to get it for Sharkenstein, but honestly, this is probably the worst of all 3 of them. I would go Sharkenstein is the best. Raiders of the Lost Shark's in the middle, and this is definitely the worst of all 3.
I don't know, like there's like a certain something about Donald's movies where, I mean, he does stay consistent with his shots. Like he does a lot of the same angle. Donald really loves the Dutch angle.
That sounded wrong.
He used to always talk about the Dutch angle on set, so I don't want to dig any deeper into that literally. Just leave it where it is. But
yeah, let's just leave it at he likes it.
I saw a lot of familiar shots from like his last movie than I did with this, but it's also the exact same. Like, well, I mean, like Chainsaw Cheerleaders even had random stuff in it that were like, this doesn't make any sense. All of his movies have that in it.
I don't know if that's like, I mean, can you call that a style?
It's his style.
Because it gets like to the point where you made so many movies after a while, you know how to do it. Like, I feel like the biggest problem with this stuff is like, you just sort of throw it together and you make it, right? And it's wonderful that it's made, but then after a while, you're just like, this was what came out of it, like it could have been so much better.
It's like a really bad cook that doesn't have any food in their house, but they need to put some stuff together and it just tastes like shit when it comes out.
There you go.
To me, it seems like a guy who goes to sleep and has these dreams. It's like, oh wow, this dream would make a great scene in a movie. And then they just randomly sticks all his dreams together in a row and the movie doesn't make any sense.
Are you saying that he was dreaming about just videotaping somebody or taking pictures of some random person on a beach?
Maybe he was. Who knows? I don't know how it.
Donald Farmer, I really hope not.
I sent him a text since we've been on here because I want to know about the character we were talking about to see if she actually was like autistic or not, but I haven't heard back from him.
He doesn't want to answer.
I didn't ask him the question yet. I was just like,
oh, okay. You asked him the question.
No.
And he's just like, I'm not replying.
Yeah, no. I was like, hey, long time no talk. What's up?
Oh, okay. Tell him we're reviewing Shark Exorcist. I don't know if you want to or not. I'll let him know about that. But
I love it.
It's not like because we've had him. We've interviewed him, and he's wonderful. He's a wonderful guy. Like we love him. And
he was in the movie.
What?
He was in the movie.
He was in the movie. Yes, he was the Channel 9 reporter. And it was nice. It was nice seeing him. I mean, I'm glad he wasn't the random guy taking the pictures and stuff. Like
Then
he could have been, but he didn't
He
do it.
doesn't look like he's aged much since I last saw him in something. I'll give him that.
He's a vampire.
always look the same.
He's
He's a daylight vampire. He go out in the daylight.
Yeah.
He doesn't sparkle though. So yeah, so he's been around since the 80s making movies, you know, and back in like the shot on video 80s days, you know, making these films, and most of them are not very good. And then he goes off and he gets, you know, nowadays you can just make a movie, right? Like you get your friends together and you go out and you can freaking make a movie. It's just you know, it's one of those things where it should be better, you know, by now, you know. But I think he just doesn't care about that, you know, like he likes these movies he makes, you know.
Well, the thing is, and like it's been seen, like the #1 movie that I hate with all of my entire soul and passion is Storm of the Dead, and he has sold more copies of that than any of the good movies that I've ever done. He makes really shitty movies, but he knows where he's like what his audience is and who's going to buy this stuff. It's very culty like movie, and he does get them sold. So I mean, maybe this is what he wanted to do. Maybe he didn't want to make better movies, and he obviously he likes being where he's at right now because he keeps doing the same thing. But I can remember when his movies, I mean, they were out in Walmart and Target, and
yeah, sometimes like Shark Exorcist I think was in Walmart for a little bit too, you know.
probably.
Wild Eye Releasing, who put this out, is very good at putting stuff out in like Walmarts and everything.
That means it'll show up at Dollar Tree anytime now, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's well,
Probably already been there.
it's probably already been, would be my guess. But
What year did this come out?
2015, I think.
Oh,
2016.
I don't think we had a Dollar Tree here yet then, so I missed out. Darn it.
Well, I wasn't in LA until late 2016.
Yeah, it was 2015, so maybe it was before you moved to LA, but still, you were. I very, very like remember. I remember there are certain times I always remember your reactions to things, and that was one of the things is you were going, Donald just asked me to be in Shark Exorcist. Hell no. You know? And I was like, I knew he was going to, because once I saw on Facebook he was doing it, I was like, he's gonna ask Jackey, you know, because he asked you for almost all of them, and then you're like, no.
He will probably still ask me just because like he's not someone that gives up on stuff. So he's gonna be like, maybe you should change your mind.
Maybe, yeah. He'll hear this and hear that you still don't want to, and he'll be like, nah, she'll change her mind.
Yeah, he'll still ask, of course.
I mean, maybe you will.
Did you not notice that the girls in this look like they were in their 40s, like late 30s, 40s?
Mhm.
I mean, so it doesn't matter how old I get in a Donald Farmer movie, I can be a sorority girl.
Yeah, you can still be 18, 17 in
Yeah.
his mind.
Well, I mean, with my voice, I could see that, but I mean, I'm getting older. I'm not aging, but I'm definitely not a sorority girl.
Yeah, I think you can still play it. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, in one of his movies, oh sure.
Oh, Bob!
Damn, Jeffrey! I've heard you. I've heard you crack that you crack on her all the time. So there you go. I just got to hear it in person.
She cracks back all the time. That's how it works.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much. That's how. If you're not friends with, you know, if you're friends with Jackey, you're getting, you're getting crap. Exactly.
If he ever makes a movie where it's like a high school theme, he could probably cast me to be the captain of the football team or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can see that. The gym teacher.
Since
like-
age is no object in his films, obviously.
Well, I mean, a teacher doesn't matter as long as, like you could be 30, 40, 80, and still
He
be a
didn't say
teacher.
did he? I thought he said the what of the football team.
Oh,
What?
the captain of the football
Oh,
team.
captain. Okay, I thought you said coach.
No.
No, captain. Okay, well, there you go. You can be the captain, Jeffrey.
Donald Farmer's elderly football team film. I wonder what a good title for that would be.
Something with senior in it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to Shark Exorcist.
We're talking about Shark Exorcist, but everybody's old except for that one kid that we're scared to say.
No, two kids. There's two girls that I'm still not sure. Like there's the girl who was I'm not sure if she had if she was on the spectrum at all or anything, and the other little girl at the end of the movie is like walking around the what is it, the aquarium, and she's like playing with the
lost child, and Donald found a lost child and he was helping her find her mom.
Was that really real? Like, is that your take on what happened?
No, I just totally made that shit up.
Okay, I was like, whoa, he just videotaped a lost child, and don't say that, because I don't think that's true. I think he knew some girl, like he knew some mother, and asked her if he could film her daughter doing stuff and putting it in this movie, but it just felt really weird. Like, why is this happening? And
it's very close to our wrap up time. So if you guys have anything else you want to point out about the movie, I would do it now.
How about you, Jeffrey?
Well, one thing that surprised me in general, I guess, I mentioned this to Jackie once before, is he didn't stick any gratuitous scene in the cemetery, which doesn't fit in the movie at all. As soon as that scene starts, like, okay, here's where Donald Farmer's going to stick some gratuitous nudity in there, like he does in all of his other films, it seems like. And I was shocked that he didn't do that in this movie.
Yeah, there were points where he could have done the nudity, and he didn't.
Avoided it this time.
I wonder if that was like a choice, or that was a budget choice. Like if that was a choice of his, like, I'm going to make a whole movie that doesn't have nudity, or if it was like, I just don't have money to pay somebody to take their top off.
When he's done that in the past, it's actually been kind of cringy.
So it's even cringier not having the nudity in the movie?
It's normally like he hides a camera in some girl's bathroom. Sorry.
And then she's like, Donald, I told you I didn't want to do that. Oh, well, it's already out. Sorry.
We already filmed it. We got the footage. It's good.
Yeah, the footage. It's good. It looks good.
It makes the movie make sense, okay?
Oh, Lord. I wonder how many directors actually use that line.
I know, right?
Because there's so much gratuitous nudity in indie film these days. And then, now somebody could just say that. Yeah, well, now it just makes the movie make sense.
Listen, your character is so important to this movie. It's just not going to make sense without this scene.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But in his past movies, though, it's in scenes that have nothing to do with the plot of the movie. And it's like, why? It's like...
I thought that part was coming when the girl was getting into her bikini and getting into the swimming pool with the kid. And I was like,
too.
This is getting weird.
This is getting worse.
I was so afraid they're going to cross a line there that he better not have crossed, but he didn't. So.
I thought she, because she came close and she like started touching her, and I was like, oh God, this is where it's going to get like all lesbian-ish stuff like kissing and all this other stuff. And I was so glad that didn't happen, even though she like bit her, but that was it, like she turned her into a shark, which I mean seemed like what the girl wanted, right?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
wanted to be a shark. She loved sharks so much she wanted to be one.
Yeah, one that lives in a swimming pool because
she was like the incredible Mr. Limpet, if you've ever seen that one.
now there's going to be possessed sharks in everyone's swimming pools.
Yes. See, I actually like movies where they like take sharks into swimming pools and stuff, like Ghost Shark. I think that was what the movie was called. Kind of did that, and then
Watch that with you.
What?
I watched that with you, right?
Did you?
I
don't think so. Not when we were hanging out. I don't think so. But that had I think Sean C. Phillips is in that movie, and I think Griff directed it, if I'm correct.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So and then what is it? And then the other one that just came out was a Ouija shark had a pool shark, or whatever, shark in a pool. And I for some reason I think those are silly enough where I'm like, that's kind of fun,
There's a shark in the pool. I'll show my nipples.
I was surprised nobody's made a movie, or maybe they have and I don't know, called Pool Shark, because it could be like a name for both things. Like a pool shark is like a person who's really good at pool, and then there's a pool shark. There's a shark in the pool.
You really reached out there with that name.
You could combine the two in some way.
That's what I'm saying. Put it in. The pool shark has to beat the pool shark.
Yeah. Sticks a giant cue stick in the shark's
pool
eye.
Shark versus pool shark.
Oh my god.
All right. So I think we broke Jackie's brain right now. So
it's broken. It's done. And it's that time.
It's that time. So let me explain. We do a stinkometer rating system here. It is a 1 to 10 rating system where 1 is very, very good and 10 is very, very stinky. The stinkometer. So also we do like half steps. So you could do 5.5 or 6.5. So with that being said, who wants to go first in our stinkometer rating system?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. You like how I paused there for a minute?
Yes.
Building up, the
Dramatic.
I'm going to give it a 10 plus.
10 plus? Okay. So you think it's more than 10? It should be up there and higher.
Like the 30s or 40s.
Oh God, don't tell Paul. Paul's gonna want to make you watch a movie that got a 10 plus and make you compare to it called Miss Werewolf.
Okay.
All right. Jeffrey, what about you?
I have to give it a 10 plus.
Oh.
I can think of some movies that are worse, but it's kind of like a club that all these movies should be in, I guess. The 10 plus club.
All right. Well, it's funny because yes, I'm going to go with that too. I'm going to actually go with the 10 plus as well. So this got a 30 plus, which
ding, 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 ding.
I think Paul would agree with this particular movie, because he doesn't even want to see it again.
If this had been like a 15-minute YouTube short with just the things pertaining to the plot of the movie, if nothing else, maybe I'd give it a 9,
Yeah, I mean, there's not many 10 like 30 movies that we have that are pluses. Like even the ones that we know are pretty bad, Neil Breen and whatnot. We don't think we can't do 10 plus. Like we can't do 30 plus for them because they're just not nearly as bad as like this. This just shows you sort of, but we say this out of love in a way, because even though it is pretty terrible and everything, this obviously was a style and a certain sort of thing where this feels like a Donald Farmer movie,
Yeah.
like obviously. So, but we have reviewed one Donald Farmer movie before this, which was the vampire um vampire cop. And it wasn't nearly as it did not it got a lower rating. It was not. I think it tried to be a pretty decent movie. Not Donald's style. And everything. So anyway, I really enjoyed this one as a really terrible movie. And I enjoyed this podcast. So thank you, Jackey, for coming on and chatting with us about it and everything. And Jeffrey, you being this being your first one, I mean, were you happy that it was Shark Exorcist?
Well, how do I say this? I'm happy to be on, but I don't know, a different movie maybe.
We'll have you back on sometime. You might not be with Jackey. I'll try to get you on myself sometime.
We could talk about like Cyborg Conquest or something.
We do want to do that eventually because I don't know if you know, but like the first 2 seasons, Jackey's movies were on there. We did Snow Shark and Bigfoot
Wars.
Bigfoot Wars. So this would be kind of a perfect
well, now Cyborg Conquest to me is like the greatest film ever made. So
I actually really like that one.
I watched it not long ago. It's also in Thai, so I get to watch myself speak Thai.
Wait, so is it somebody dubbing your voice in Thai?
Yeah.
Nice. What does she sound like?
I'll probably get in trouble if I try.
It was an Asian woman doing your voice, right?
It's oh no, honey, get your nail done. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
But it wasn't. It was actually like in Thai, language.
Yeah.
And everything. Interesting. I would love to hear that because it would be so weird to see it in like something else. Like that's not. I would love to see Stacey Dash in Thai. Like that just sounds really funny. So yeah, I really wanted. We'll probably do Cyborg Conquest sometime, and we'll have you on there, Jeffrey. Jackey can't be on that one because she can't review her own movie.
She'll yell at me now. It's your fault, Jeffrey.
Well, no, she likes Cyborg Conquest. That's fine. If it were the one we're not supposed to name, she'd be mad.
You can find that on Blu-ray too now.
Didn't we say that earlier? Did you say that earlier that you can find
Snow Shark?
that was about Snow Shark. This is about you can find
I actually bought that on eBay not so long ago.
Call it
DOD. It's DOTD, right?
Leave the T out.
Leave the T out. So DOD.
Apparently they found a new distributor for that movie or something. Because all of a sudden there's a Blu-ray out there somewhere. You can find it.
People will not stop with that fucking film.
Either they review it or they bring it up. I mean, it is probably tied with this movie.
It's got the Howard Stern connection that was big for a while. And
I feel like it's like the two girls in a cup, like where like nobody wants to watch it, but like you have to because it's so bad.
Well, yeah. Or what was that word? Like everybody kept telling you, don't you Google this word. And then you Google it and you're like, oh fuck. I still haven't Googled it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what that is.
And it's like some kind of color and something else,
Okay, I'll say what it is. It's a blue waffle.
Blue waffle. That's it.
Waffle.
I still have not seen it and I don't want to see it, and I'm okay with never seeing it.
I can't come back after seeing that.
I'm writing it down right now.
Jeffrey.
Plus, now I have to Google this Dutch angle thing.
Oh God.
No, Dutch angle is nothing. It's a Dutch something else or whatever. Dutch oven.
That's when you hold somebody's head under the covers and fart.
Yeah. See, Jackie knows all this shit.
Of course I do. Why would I not?
I don't know. You know everything about farting and shitting and stuff. I don't know. It always comes up in all our conversations and on the shows.
It does. It does.
Just living when I lived with you, that's all that we talked about was that shit.
Sometimes I was even making people shit.
You did.
I don't know who that was.
I don't know. I think if you listen to Jackie's interview with me and Jenny Spain, you might be able to find some information about that out.
Yeah.
The gummy bear?
Yes, it's the gummy bear situation.
Oh, I'm familiar with the gummy bear thing.
I bet she was texting you when that was all happening too and shit. You knew about it like way before anything else.
I heard all about it.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Once again, thank you so much, Jackie, for hosting this. This was awesome. I really appreciate you coming out here and doing this and everything. And Jeffrey, thank you. I mean, this is the first time being on the show, and you're a lot more talkative than some people sometimes are.
My brain is already broken before I even come on this show, so
it works, right?
That might help. I don't know.
Well, thank you so much, and everybody else. And I guess this is our first. We started off the third episode of the season with a freaking 30 plus. So there you go. Gonna start it off nice. So thank you guys all for listening and checking this out, and join us next week for Paul's episode. Until then, bye everybody.